Hello, everybody. Here we are, 17th of July. There was a pop-up, and Dan's going to cover the pop-up, and then we'll get started on the theme for today. Mr. Dan Street, go for it.
Well, thanks. Welcome, everybody. I read that pop-up, and it's very exciting, and I just kind of looked at it, and there just continues to be a very positive story that we're being told. It starts with something new and exciting is in the works. The story isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. The roots are stronger, and the future is beginning to blossom. We have the stamina and the strength to weather the storm and are sailing into clear waters. And we see a bold, beautiful future, not giving up. And today, he kind of took it to another level, and they said a little bit more detail regarding obstacles that they've overcome and confirming again that there's a light ahead. And so, like I said, I see this story being told that's building with intensity. And today, the message confirmed the commitment to the mission and to our shared dream and to each other and to us. We're never wavering. It's never wavered. So very positive stuff. And I see OP News revealing a little bit more of the story each update. And the bottom line is it's always positive. So very good stuff today. I enjoyed reading that. Okay, I'll go back to you, Marty.
All righty. Okay, we'll get started. Yeah, it was a very good pop-up, always positive. Every few days there's something new. So that's really good news. Anyway, we're going to get into today's topic. And the topic is, what are the elements of a successful online business? And if everybody could get these elements together, they could succeed. The problem is people go into MLM, drop ship, or email marketing, and they think I'm going to do A, B, and I'm going to make all kinds of money. That's not how it works. Not how it works. Now, I believe things could be different for us in the future. I don't believe all these little details we will need to do. But anyway, let me get started. First thing is you need to have a clear niche and a target audience. So you have to have something to find a specific problem or need you need to solve. You're always selling something that solves a problem. Understand who your ideal customer is. You're not going to sell, a bikini in Alaska. Well, you might, but not likely. Valuable product service. Offer something people need, want, or love. Love is a big one. It provides real value, solves a specific problem, like I said. You need a website or a platform. It's got to be user-friendly. A lot of people on there that don't know all these little details. You got to make it very clear, very easy to understand. Fast loading, secure. It has appeal when people go to it, and clear navigation. That's a big one. You have to have an effective marketing strategy. You got to use social media, email marketing, paid ads, content marketing, SEO, if you know how to do it. And this takes a lot of work. This isn't easy. It's not easy. Strong brand identity. Managing tone, logo, and visual. You got to build trust, authenticity, and emotional connection. It's a big deal. If people think you care about them and you can solve a problem for them, you'll have them for life. Customer engagement and support. You got to offer fast, friendly support. Live chat, email, chat bot. Always use testimonials. They're a big deal. A scalable system. As it grows, your system can grow with it. I've seen systems where it's growing and it grew faster than the system can handle and it crashes. Nowadays, a crash is a killer because people don't have any patience. So that's a big one. You got to know money involved. What does it cost? What do you pay? What can you make? How do you make it? And how quick do you get to where you want to get? persistent mindset. You got to keep going. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. So anyway, that's some of the part of it I wanted to bring up. We could talk more about it, but I don't want to talk the whole night. So I'm going to go to Dan Street again.
Okay. Yeah. When I was thinking of the online business topic, I had a question that we should ask ourselves: is it better to build an online business by yourself, or join with people who share a common goal and are bound together to reach that goal? And this is something that you would have to ask yourself. I know that with the incredible tools we will have, along with AI and hard work, it makes it much easier to start and run your own online business. But you will have the ability to automate your business and achieve whatever level of success you desire. You can engage in the business, follow the steps, work hard, make it fun, and you'll generate commissions. But I think it's important for us to admit that we may need some help every now and then. I think there are certain aspects of the business of any business, and especially online business, that I need help with. And it's important to get that help from people who have skills and talents and abilities that I may not have. And in working, of course, a lot of you know that in working with Mike and Marty, they have skills and talents and abilities that I didn't have, and I had a couple of skills that they weren't as good at. So we work very well together as a team. You complement each other, you work together, you have fun in the process. That's big, because you're not going to be very effective in any online business if you don't have fun with it. And this is an option available for people who might want to take it and ramp it up a little bit. You network with a team of people that you trust and help you to succeed. So you have your own little individual business, but you develop a network of people that you share ideas with, and you help network to succeed. You help toss around ideas. And while sharing your ideas, it's also important that you listen to others, because that's how you learn, and that's how you continue to advance in your business. And each person must be able to express their opinions over the issues, the ideas, the decisions, and help make each person achieve the desired result. Now, the final decisions are agreed upon, and a plan of action is implemented. Now, that's totally up to you again as your own individual business. You have your business, and you're looking at a plan of action that's been developed by a network of people that have put their minds together and come up with a very effective plan. But finally, everybody holds themselves accountable for the effort that they make in their business. And the motivation and the desire you have to succeed online in a business online is totally based on you as an individual. You'll have the tools, and I believe you'll have unlimited tools, and the potential is unlimited. So it's very important that, we can talk about all the elements that are there to succeed in an online business and that are essential for you to succeed in an online business. But the bottom line, it's up to you and your desire and your motivation and how willing you are to work, and understanding that this is a business and that you are going to have to put some effort into it. But if you do that, I believe the potential is unlimited. So I will go over to Mr. Ellis. Mike.
Yeah, no, thanks, Dan. Today's topic is absolutely massive, and Marty and Dan have brought up some really, really good points, and each point literally is hours and hours of conversations. That's how big it is. I believe the technology is coming toward us right now that will give each and every one of us the opportunity to build an online business and to develop income, and that's why we're here. It really comes down to the money. Dan, go ahead and mute yourself. It comes down to the money involved, and really that's what I want to focus on today. Like I said, each item we could talk, for hours and hours about. But the money is really, really important. And I want to keep it very, very current. There's some things you all need to know that are happening right now that will influence you and will influence your business. Today in Congress, they're passing 3 bills. And one of the bills is an anti-CBD bill, and CBD is central banking digital currency. And they're trying to eliminate the CBDC from existence. And that's a good thing. And the example I can give you, there is already an example out there of CBDC being used in a country, and that country is China. And what they've done with the central banking digital currency is they've brought it into a reality, and they've brought it in to control everything. That's the bad side of AI. And right now, the central banking systems are trying to come in and create their own CBDC. And when you start thinking about digital currency, cryptocurrency, I know a lot of people, because it's new to them, they get kind of freaked out. They don't know what to do with it. But all it really is just another form of money, period. Whether it's a fiat, whether it's gold or silver, whether it's a digital currency, it's just a means to buy and sell. That's all it is. And when you put it in the control of the bankers, all of a sudden it becomes a central way to pay. And when it's a central digital currency, all of a sudden the people that have the central banking digital currency, they control everything. We don't want that. Now, Congress is trying to pass a bill right now. It's the anti-CBDC. But in that bill, there is a way forward for bankers, the central banking system, to actually create that system. We don't want that. And there are a lot of people right now that are trying to get that out of the bill so that the bankers don't have any way of creating that cryptocurrency and controlling the whole economy, because they control the money. So they're trying to get rid of that right now. I think they will. The reason I bring up cryptocurrency, you will be dealing with cryptocurrency with whatever business you go into online. It's just, it is absolutely coming. And I'll give you an example. There's a new regulation. It's ISO 20022. And most of the banks have to comply with this regulation. And all it is it's a regulation that keeps the banks honest. They have to be very, very transparent. But it's so much more than that. Because of what's happening with cryptocurrency today, because of ISO 20022, all of a sudden the way companies, the way governments, the way companies, the way people actually interact with finances, the whole thing is going to change. And because of those regulations, right now, maybe you get paid every 2 weeks. Maybe you get paid once a month. Maybe you get paid, I don't know, maybe every 2 or 3 months, depending on what you do. But with the new system that's being implemented right now, as this is implemented, we're going to be able to be paid not once a day or every other week, but every single minute. It's technology, guys. You can't stop technology, and this is really, really good technology. And when you start to think about the cryptocurrencies that comply with the ISO 20022, there are about 8 cryptocurrencies right now that comply with that regulation. If you own those cryptocurrencies, you're going to do very, very well. But it's more important than that. Because of what they're doing, whatever business we get into in the future, and I think it's coming pretty quick, it's just going to be revolutionary, not only how the business works, but how we get paid. And that's the bottom line. How do we get paid? How quickly can we get paid? If you make a sale, you make a commission, how quickly do you get that money? Well, because of what's going on in the crypto world, because of what's going on with the new regulations, all of a sudden, it's become very, very inexpensive to actually pay people. And it's very, very possible that when you make a sale, you could get paid on the minute. Now, I don't know anybody in the world today that pays anybody by the minute, period. And they don't do that because paying people is very arduous. It's clumsy, it's expensive, And companies just don't want to go through that minute by minute by minute. But because of cryptocurrency, because of what's happening, all of that's going to change. And all of a sudden, we get paid very, very quickly. And again, I think all the technology is coming our way to develop and build a company online that will bring in revenue for you. Okay. With the AI, with all the IT tools, everything that's coming our way, being able to put it together, it's going to be marvelous what it'll do for you. And then when we start to think about the money, speed of business, all of a sudden money speeds up so fast that you make a sale, you go back in your back office, your back wallet, all of a sudden your commission is there. So it's a really, really cool thing what's happening today. There are some things in there that that people that want to control and manipulate, they're trying to get it into these bills, but there are enough people that are aware of what they're trying to do. I think they'll get stripped out. I don't think the CBDC cryptocurrency will ever happen. That's a good thing. That's a centralized currency that they can control. What we'll be dealing with is a decentralized cryptocurrency, which means you're in control. I know if you're not familiar with cryptocurrency, your eyes might have glazed over as I talk. The bottom line is we're in the money business. We're into making money. We're into buying and selling. And the quicker the money can get into our hands, the more we can do with our life, with our families, with our community. And I think that's going to speed up in ways you can't even imagine right now. So some really, really cool things are happening, not only on the business side, but the money side. And they go together. And like I said, each topic that we bring up today, that Marty brought up and Dan brought up and that Robin will bring up, we could go into depth on each one of these and talk for hours and hours and hours. But I think you get the gist. We're in a good place and things are coming that are going to improve your life and change your life financially, I believe, for the better. Robin, go ahead and take it from here.
Wow. There is a lot. This is huge. You guys are making such great points and such valid thought forms and processes that we all need to pay attention to and see where things are going. Starting with the fact that technology today and where we're at today, it's possible to start a business on your laptop or on your phone, sitting in your bedroom on your bed, and all you really need is an idea. That's how you can start a business. Now, from that, depending on how serious you are about business, depending on how truthful, how positive, how real you are about what you're doing, you need to take different steps to expand upon all of this. You need to become very, very serious, because behind every great business is a problem being solved. So do you see your product, your business as a problem solver, or are you just out there to make money and come and go out as quickly as possible? And there's a lot of that happening. A lot of people are being caught up in that. And we hear that constantly through our Facebook connections, our friends, and what they're learning. And as they're moving forward, they say, who do you trust? How do you do all of this? So as an example, you need a well-defined target audience. So all the points that Marty brought up at the start, I'm going to sort of bring back in again and filter in and through both Dan and Mike have said. But, if you don't know who your target audience is, if you don't know and you're all over the place, you're too big out there. You cannot serve. And this is something that I learned in some very challenging times. And I know I gave a very dear friend some gray hairs, and I'll come to that in a moment. But I thought I could help everybody. I thought there was nothing that was too big or too much that could be done. A few years back, I started to create a couple of businesses. One was for the health and wellness industry, one was for animals, and one was for travel. And all my life has revolved around these three aspects, intertwined all throughout my life. And I met somebody, an amazing lady who was extremely qualified at building websites. And she and I hooked up in terms of a business partnership. And she was incredible with what she could do. And she listened to what I wanted to do, to my thoughts and my ideas. And the next thing, she started developing these websites. And I said, well, why can't we put them all under one umbrella? I mean, this to me was one big, she said, it's going to be too big and you're going to lose people in this. So she started funneling my thoughts and my ideas into the three different aspects of what I wanted to do. So ultimately, she ended up building a website for health and wellness products for me that I was connected to, that I believed in, that I wanted to help other people with. We had parallel, similars, and others for our animals, because animals are just as important to us. It's a family pet, it's part of the family. We want to make sure that they are healthy and well looked after. And then you need your health in order to travel. And because of my experience on the cruise ships and where I've been to in the world, I wanted to be able to bring and offer these types of experiences to other people. So all of this for me became a huge learning experience. So you need to first and foremost know who your target audience is. I would suggest, from firsthand experience and trying to do too much, it's still possible to be part of lots of areas and aspects of industries. But really, if you're going for a business that you are building and you are creating, stick with one and stay and follow these guidelines all the way through. And you also need to have a very good quality website and platform. And this is where I was fortunate. This lady made these for me, and they were magnificent, absolutely magnificent. They were high quality, and of the day, they were top notch. They would have cost many, many dollars had I had to go out there and ask somebody to and hire somebody to create these for me. I was very fortunate through our partnership. That was what she helped and brought to our building of business. Branding. You have to know how to brand. And you see, these are things that one can talk about wanting to do something, but if you don't know the intricacies of what these different steps are, you're going to miss out, and it's not going to be the successful business that you want it to be. And I think through a lot of what we've heard from Ash, from what is being developed, that is what drew many of us into this, because he has the technology, the ability, the knowledge, and the wherewithal to help all of us with the ideas of what we want to do, how we want to represent things and send them out to the world. And I was so excited when I started hearing that things like funnels would be done and sales functions and payments and these sort of things were all going to be included in what was being offered to us. And I still feel that we're in for such a great joy when we get to learn what is coming to us through Ash and what he and his teams have developed. And I think we're going to be so happy, so pleasantly surprised, and so on track with all the highest levels of technology, all the speed, all the accuracies, the legal components, and everything else that's needed. You need to be able to scale your business. Yes, you start small, but do you have the wherewithal, the means, and the tools as you get into larger markets, as you get global, if those are your goals? Customer service and retention. It's so much harder to bring back a customer that you've lost or to actually gain new customers than it is to hold on to one. When you have your customers, you want to treat them like gold. When you have friends, you want to treat them like gold, because when they're gone, it's hard when that trust is broken, when things get, separated, and it's not the same when you go back again. So remember this. It's vitally important that your personality comes into all of this as well. Yes, the technology is all there and it's wonderful, but you also have to put you into the website, into the production of what you're doing for your business. And again, I think this is where we have an amazing example, an amazing leadership through Ash and what he has done and is creating. I will pass it back to Marty at this point.
Wow. Okay, I figure in about 6 hours we'll be done. I'm just kidding. No, but I mean we covered a lot of it, and the point is, we're trying to give content out there for everybody to make you think and either realize what we're part of, which is a gift, but what it really takes to have a business online. It's work. If you can get with somebody. The trust issue, what is the company? Do you know who they really are? It could be everything. Anyway, I'm going to play a couple of videos and then we'll wrap things up.
AI headline news, July 17th, 2025. ByteDance tops Meta in AI revenue. ByteDance reported $43 billion in Q1 2025 revenue, surpassing Meta's $42.3 billion, but still trades at a lower valuation amid global AI investments and geopolitical concerns. Reuters. NVIDIA CEO praises Chinese AI. Jensen Huang called Chinese AI models world-class during his Beijing visit and confirmed resumed H20 chip exports to China, reflecting a thaw in US-China tech tensions. Reuters. ABB records AI boom orders. Swiss engineering giant ABB saw a 37% surge in US AI data center orders in Q2, its strongest ever, lifting net income 9% to 1.71 billion Reuters. Startup funding and coding tool study. AI startup funding hit $160 billion in the first half of 2025, but a study suggests AI coding tools may hamper, not boost, expert developer productivity. Reuters. Why it matters. Tech rivalry. ByteDance and Meta battle for AI dominance despite different valuations. Diplomacy via chips. NVIDIA's chip exports show warming ties between the US and China. Infrastructure growth. ABB's boom reflects surging global AI scale build-outs. Investor caution. Even strong chip earnings can be tempered by economic and policy uncertainty. Reality check. Massive funding doesn't guarantee productivity. Real-world use is still evolving.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell.
And then there's a short clip about what the theme was today.
What are the elements of a successful online business? 1. Clear niche and target audience. Define a specific problem or need you solve. Understand who your ideal customer is and what they want. 2. Valuable product or service. Offer something people need, want, or love. Ensure it provides real value and solves a specific problem. 3. Optimized website or platform. User-friendly, mobile responsive design. Fast loading, secure and visually appealing. Clear navigation and strong calls to action. 4. Effective marketing strategy. Use a mix of SEO, search engine optimization, social media marketing, email campaigns, paid ads, content marketing, leverage automation and analytics. 5. Strong brand identity. Consistent messaging, tone, logo and visuals. Build trust, authenticity and emotional connection. 6. Customer engagement and support. Offer fast, friendly support. Live chat, email, chatbot. Use testimonials, reviews, and user-generated content to build trust. 7. Scalable systems. Automate where possible. Email, sales funnels, inventory. Use CRM tools and scalable platforms for growth. 8. Clear monetization model. Know how you'll earn. Sales, subscriptions, affiliate income, ads, etc. Price your product service competitively and sustainably. 9. Continuous learning and adaptation. Stay up to date with industry trends. Test, measure, and refine your approach regularly. 10. Persistence and mindset. Success rarely happens overnight. Consistency, resilience, and adaptability are key.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell.
Oh. Anyway, anybody have any
Yeah, very good,
closing
Marty.
comments about anything?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
man. No, go ahead,
I
man.
think what we're talking about and what we're seeing is that most people look at their current jobs as more of a security than an actual means to achieve total financial freedom. And people are looking for, they're looking beyond that job security, and they want to find their own world of financial freedom. They want to find something that they can do online. And this, what we're talking about tonight, it gives you some ideas to think about how you can start your own business, and it's available. The opportunity is there, and it's just people want to make a professional change and a financial change in their lives. So this is what this is all about, and that's what online business is all about. And we're here to help each other.